I'm going to walk you through exactly how I progress curvilinear sprints throughout an entire off season for higher level athletes. Let's get into it. Yo, what's going on guys? Chris Barner here with Overtime Athletes, and for today's video, what I want to review is how I'm progressing throughout an entire off season in intensifying or advancing the stimulus of curvilinear sprints to translate over to the field or court. Now, if you're unfamiliar with curvilinear, they're also referred to as arc runs. And this is essentially where an athlete isn't as angular with their cuts. So they're performing more of a curve as opposed to a hard 90 or a hard where they're putting their foot in the ground and going. And the reason why I love these is because if you actually break down film of an athlete, a lot of times they're not moving in such angular patterns, whether this be football, baseball when they're turning bases, basketball, obviously, if they're going around a pick, they're not running, making a hard 90 cut and then sprinting here. And the reason why I love them is because this is an actual skill that we can elevate. If you were to actually break down between both legs when they're performing that curvilinear sprint, you would notice that each leg has a different responsibility. So that inside leg on the curve or on the turn is going to act more as a stabilizer, whereas the outside leg is going to be the one that's producing the force, giving you that horsepower. So by us hammering these different curvilinear sprints, they're actually developing a skill that will translate over to sport. Now, the way that I progress them is in phase one is I like to just simply introduce a single bend, right? Well, this would be a 90-degree turn that's around a bend. Now, the way that I progress it in each block is I will start to condense or make more aggressive how that turn is. Now, during this phase, when I'm introducing this, a lot of times I'm not cueing them mechanically. All I'm asking them to do is dip the crown of the head into the turn. Because if they dip the head, the body will follow. And usually what we want to just make sure at this point is we want to make sure that they're elevating across the ankle, knee, and hip to be able to produce a more aggressive bend. Now from here, what I can do is I can progress this to a half arc or a full circle. And then from here, what I would then want to progress to is where they're doing it at a high level. This could be a serpico run where they're weaving in and out of cones. We can basically stagger those cones a little bit more and making it a little bit more aggressive the way that they have to weave. We can make it a full figure eight where they have to bend and turn around and then be able to shift their weight. And then finally, what I like to do is I want to add some kind of reactionary component. So with this, I can add some kind of cat and mouse through those where one athlete's starting a couple yards ahead. They initiate the movement, the other athlete has to follow. Or I can add some kind of tennis ball where basically I'm dropping or flipping the tennis ball and that athlete has to be able to lock in, get around that, and then be able to secure the tennis ball before it bounces twice. Now, the reason why I love to add those reactionary components to the end of it is because I want to make sure that all the mechanics, all the foundation we laid in the first phase translates over once we start to add live bullets to it. So there you have it, guys. You can see I go from the most fundamental basic form of quarter arc, progress to half arc, full circles, then we go to our serpicos and our bending, and then we also introduce figure eights, and then finally some reactionary components. So just want to make you a quick video real quick of how you should be progressing those. I see a lot of coaches can just immediately start to add in those real aggressive figure eight runs or add a tennis ball. And I believe that a foundation needs to be laid first for us to get true adaptation. So I hope that helps. If you're interested in a full agility program, go ahead and check out a link down below. I'll see you guys next time.